Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but we also discuss how we're going to fix it. Now, what I'm going to show you tonight is something that we all knew was occurring, but they've come out and kind of dropped the pretense. They're just flat out rubbing it in our face. Ed Markey, Senator of Massachusetts, has openly congratulating himself on his own website about the $25 million that's going to be going to the CDC to research gun violence that was just passed in the Omnibus package. Everything is going to be linked in the description box below, and this is important to understand. This is where their heads are at, and there is no questioning what's up once I show you this. Now, if you are new or you're a returning viewer, we would love to have you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn that notification bell on. We need as many people as we can to get in the fold, get in the trenches with us, and help us spread the news of the 2A far and wide across this nation. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration, and this information is brought to you by XS Sights. Now, XS Sights is known to be the best sights in any light. For 25 years, they have innovated sights for pistols, rifles, and shotguns. Whether you're looking for something for a defensive, hunting, or tactical situation, they've got you. There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to XS Sights for making this content possible. But my brothers and sisters, as I mentioned in the introduction, they aren't even hiding it. Remember that whole thing where it was considered conspiracy theory that there was gun control in the bill, in the omnibus package, and the funding bills? Remember all that? Yeah, well, 18 Republican senators joined the Democrats in passing just this, and the Democratic senator from Massachusetts, Ed Markey, has wasted no time talking about how they secured that funding for gun violence research at the CDC. I know some of you are screaming at the screen right now, Dickey Amendment. We're going to get that in a second. Let me show you what I'm laying out here. Senator Markey applauds the $25 million for gun violence research in Omnibus package. There's no gun control in Omnibus package. You're a conspiracy theorist. This is from his own website. Now, before I get into showing you what he actually said, let me show you what the actual Dickey Amendment says, because this is something that is important in this line of conversation. The Dickey Amendment, passed in 1996, mandates that, quote, none of the funds made available for injury prevention and control at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, may be used to advocate or promote gun control. The amendment was introduced after the National Rifle Association lobbied Congress in response to a CDC-funded 1993 study that reported that guns in the home were associated with increased risk of homicide in the home. So the CDC puts out a report that basically tries to influence gun ownership in the United States, and Congress reacts, and that's the NRA's fault. Because it's crazy. They would never put money towards gun activism. Yeah, let's go back to Senator Markey's little press release. Washington, December 29th, 2022. Today, Senator Edward J. Markey, Democrat, Massachusetts, lead Senate author of the Gun Violence Prevention Research Act, applauded the inclusion of $25 million in the end-of-the-year omnibus spending package to continue the critical gun violence research at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and National Institutes of Health that began in 2020. The CDC and the NIH, but it's all about research. It's no matter where it leads, there's not a pre-done conclusion. It's not like the CDC would take down defensive gun stats and uses at the behest of a gun control group called Gun Violence Archive, would they? Yeah, because we just covered that a week and a half ago. This is extremely political. Make no mistake about it. That's why he's trying to get political points by putting out this press release. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking to themselves, yeah, this is irritating. Yeah, this is maddening. What are we going to do about it? The way that we are going to respond to these types of things is we're going to get more involved. Subscribe to this channel. Make sure you are subscribed to the secondpress.co, my website. Things are about to change for the better. We are going to put a lot more pressure. We're going to put a lot more activism on the streets for our gun rights. We are going to drive this back because as long as we can speak through our representatives in Washington, even though they may not want to, we're going to make it so loud that they, out of their own self-interest, they have to. That's important to understand. Check something out like that. But let's keep going because this is how we take this lifelong fight. Quote, like any public health crisis, the gun violence epidemic must be thoroughly studied and understood in order to develop life-saving scientific and policy solutions that protect communities. That's very fancy speak for gun control, said Senator Markey. I am pleased to have once again secured this federal funding for gun violence research and will continue to fight to ensure public health and gun safety experts have the support they need to help lawmakers turn data into action. Again, unless it goes against your point, in which case you just delete it off the CDC's website. Everything is linked down there, including the secondpress.co, including the Dickey Amendment definition, including Ed Markey's stuff. Everything. Make sure you are spreading this information out and you at least store it in your memory banks, because this is the reason that we do these types of things. Oh, goodness gracious. These people are playing the long game, and we need to too. In February of 2021, Senator Markey and Congresswoman Carolyn B. Maloney of New York 12 introduced the Gun Violence Prevention Research Act, which would authorize $50 million in funding each fiscal year for the next 5 years at the CDC to study gun violence. The research funding secured for the 2023 fiscal year builds upon the lawmakers' years-long push in previous spending packages to support gun violence research at the CDC and the NIH. The reason that I put this last piece in here is Carolyn Maloney is no longer in office. Thank everything. However, she was responsible for the Ways and Means Committee in dragging the CEOs of gun companies in front for a dog and pony show in Congress and berating them for making it their fault that gun violence exists because of their marketing techniques, which just so happens to be tied into the gun control groups doing the exact same thing and pending lawsuits for the exact same thing. Now, when these bills come out and we make a fuss about the fact that there's funding in here to fund research against against gun rights and gun studies, there's a reason, because it all culminates 3 and 4 years down the road in one giant omnibus package, in which case Senator Ed Markey pounds his chest and beats the drum and says, look what I did to save gun violence. And that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.